Hi and welcome to my new YouTube channel. My name is Seren and I'm the human behind Tiny Lil Oasis. I have a plant and travel account on Instagram. So why have I made this channel? I'm making this channel because I love plants. I've enjoyed sharing them with you on Instagram for the last almost a year already, since the last lockdown. I started with a balcony of plants. It was kind of like a garden, more like a garden than it was a jungle. I had flowers. I also grew a lot of my own produce. So I would use the scraps from my kitchen. I would chop up my spring onions and replant them. I also took peppers, the seeds from peppers, and I used them in the soil. And I actually ended up growing about 60 peppers, which was a lot of fun. I might do that again this year. Because I enjoyed that time, I started watching a lot of plant YouTube channels, starting off with a plant tour from Jenna Marbles, which then introduced me to people like Harley G, Nick Pileggi, Plant Arena, Wild Fern. So yeah, a good mix of people that I love to watch straight away. And yeah, it made me want to grow my own indoor garden and bring all of these plants indoors with me. I started that with a Monstera deliciosa. It was only small, it had about 4 leaves when I first got it. A beautiful philodendron Brazil, and this little neon pothos. So I'm going to quickly show you my little Monstera deliciosa as it's sitting right next to me. Here she is, with a happy little fuzzy white root growing on the bottom, which I actually have to repot. So when I first got this plant, it only had this guy, this guy, this guy, and this guy. So it had about 4 leaves. As you can see, it's got some lovely big ones now, which is very exciting. I think this is going to be pushing out its new leaf pretty soon. And as you can see here, it's got 1 leaf poking out, and it's already on quite a big leaf. So I'm hoping it ends up being this big, we'll see. It's such an easy plant to look after. I hardly ever water this guy. I give it quite a bit of sun because it's sitting right underneath a skylight with its, well, we'll call it mother, but the mother came later on. Yes, that's my little Monstera deliciosa. You've seen my philodendron Brazil as it was in the intro, but this little guy, let's grab him quickly. Here. Okay, so this is my neon pothos. It grew into quite a huge plant. I didn't have that many, I only had a few on top, but it's starting to spiral and climb down. It actually has some lovely white variegation on this one, and I just think it's absolutely beautiful. It's also got some little green, dark green stripes. Honestly, I just feel super lucky to have this plant. Oh, it's actually got even more variegation on this leaf here. I've never noticed that before. It makes you want to look at this plant closer because it just constantly gives me new surprises. Like I said, it's a super easy plant to grow. I hardly water this guy. When I notice that the soil is getting a bit hard, then I water it. I've only ended up getting 1 little crispy leaf. 2 little crispy leaves, I lie. But this guy is quite beautiful, and I've had it since the start. Absolutely stunning. Let me just move around. So my obsession quickly grew, as it does with plants, and I ended up getting about 80-90 plants. I actually lost a few this winter because winter is cruel and it will steal your plants if you let it. Most of the ones that died were either succulents or Ceropegias. Ceropegia? What do you guys say? It was my string of pearls that died, but I hear that they're quite hard to maintain anyway, so I don't feel too bad. My goal for this channel is to basically do all of my plant chores with you. I'm going to be propagating, I'm going to be watering, I'm going to be checking for new leaves, like I just showed you on my Monstera. New leaf, super exciting. But a lot of my plants at the moment are giving me new leaves because we're going into springtime. I would also love to do case studies with you. So for example, Monsteras. I could do a case study on Monsteras, maybe even just a specific type of Monstera, so like the Monstera deliciosa. We can have a look at where it came from. Why do we have to care for it? Do we have to care for it a certain way because that's what it gets in the wild? That's usually the case. So I'd like to find out how to care for these plants, why we care for these plants in these certain ways. Are there kind of ways that you can get around caring for these plants? For example, my Begonia maculata is known to love high humidity. I give it hardly any, but I keep it in an area with about 15 other plants, and I spray them every so often, and they keep the humidity up because they're in such a close group. It's like a little tropical rainforest in my skylight window. Now that I've told you basically what I want to do with this channel, I'm going to show you two plants. I'm going to show you my favourite plant and my least favourite plant. So I'm going to start with my favourite. My favourite is the Begonia maculata. I'm going to grab it for you now. Just bear with me because it's quite big. So here is my, I don't know why I said it like that. Here is my Begonia maculata. I love this plant. It's my favourite plant. The angel wing leaves with the red on the bottom and the dark green on top and the silvery beautiful spots that look like they have a single dark spot right in the middle of them, like a little breathing hole. And the fact that the outside is so crinkly, you may know this as the angel wing begonia, and they're known to get quite leggy. But honestly, oh, hello little fungus nut. Goodness, get away, get away, get away. As you can see, this guy is giving me loads of new growth at the moment. Got 1, 2, I think this is relatively new too. These two are new, they definitely feel new. 4, 5, 6, we've got loads on this side. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, we've got some in the middle as well. Honestly, this plant doesn't stop. I'm gonna put it here, hide behind it. It's just incredible. It bloomed for me last autumn, which was absolutely stunning. It had these beautiful white little heart-shaped blooms with bright yellow centre. It's just stunning. Honestly, every time I wake up and I see this plant and it's put out a new leaf for me, I get super excited, and I look after this plant really well. It does look a bit dusty at the moment. Hey, fungus gnat, get away. Get away from my begonia. It does look a bit dusty at the moment, but that's because this room is super dusty. But I wipe this plant probably every week because I know that they're kind of prone to getting pests, and a big variety of pests as well. So I really don't want this guy to die because it's just absolutely one of my favourites. I don't have many crispy ends on this guy. Look at this fungus gnat, he's back again. Get away, sir. Can't tell if it's just my eyesight or whether there is a fungus gnat because I'm -9 in both eyes. So sometimes I think it's a fungus gnat and sometimes it's actually just black spots in my eyes. I'm gonna pick this guy back up because it's dangling on my micons. I don't have many crispy ends on this guy. I think that's because I do spray it every so often, and I leave it so it gets nice and humid with the other plants. But I've seen a lot of people get crispy edges as well, and I just think I've been super fortunate. I'm not sure if it's because the climate here in the UK makes it so that it's a bit more humid. I don't know whether we have more of a humid climate than I suppose places in the US, I'm not sure. Just one last look at this guy before I put it away. Stunning, absolutely stunning. We do not deserve a plant like this, we really don't. On to a plant I hate, which is the Tradescantia. Any type of Tradescantia, honestly, I hate them. I truly hate them. They snap all the time. You can pot them up, great. Fantastic, they'll love to be potted up because they root super quickly. And then you move them slightly to water them and you snap all of the arms. And this has happened to me now every time that I've watered a Tradescantia. I don't move this one anymore, and that's why this branch is so long. But the top growth points are quite small. And I have another one over there, and they're the same type, but the one over to my left has a lot more silver in it, and I thought they were the same type. I just learned to despise them. Sometimes we just don't like a plant when we think that we will. I got these because I wanted to trade out my crotons, because I hate crotons as well. And I got these, and honestly they're not much better. At least they're harder to kill because they just keep growing roots and growing roots and growing roots. But that makes me feel like they're just more like a weed than a plant that I want to enjoy. So yeah, not the best. It's just really irritating, and it's kind of dying because I haven't watered it anywhere near enough. Yeah, it's just not one of my favourites. I also have this Hoya behind me, and everyone loves Hoya, man. Maybe it's because I just haven't had a good experience with this Hoya, but I absolutely cannot stand Hoya. I have a Hoya pubicalyx as well. It's in my propagation box and it's doing okay. It hasn't lost any leaves yet. It's chilling, but I like a fast growing plant. Begonia maculata, Monstera deliciosa, Pilea peperomioides? Pilea peperomioides. Yeah, those easy growing plants. Monstera adansonii. What else is easy to grow? Marble Queen Pothos. Oh, I've just realised I've been recording with this bag behind me this whole time. Do you want to know what this is? It's a little avocado. It's not just a random sandwich bag that I've just kept behind me. I've been growing a avocado for a few weeks now, maybe a month or so. And this tissue looks really gross, but that's because I haven't changed it. It's still soaking wet and I haven't changed the water once. Look at this guy. Oh, look at that root. I'm gonna have to pop it in some water soon and stake it up so that it gets some nice growth out of there. But amazing, man. This is what I mean. You can take scraps from your kitchen and just experiment with them. It's no loss to you at all, you know? You're gonna eat the food anyway, so you may as well see if you can grow it. It's not like you're buying the seeds, you're buying the food to eat, so have an experiment. Like peppers, I grew loads of peppers last year and I ended up having to give them away because we were moving home. But you can do it with tomatoes, you can do it with so many different things. Spring onions. I've seen people do it with garlic. You can do so many different things. Ah, another great one, the top of carrots. You can chop the top of carrots off and plant those, and like greens grow from the top, obviously. You can add those to salads. I think that's just so freaking cool. Amazing. You can even do it with celery. You can prop the end of a celery in some water for a few weeks and then you can plant it back outside when the roots grow. And you can grow your own celery from scraps. What the freaking hell is that about? Oh, so cool. Anyway, my avocado. I'm gonna quickly wrap this back up. I won't bore you with that, I'll just skip it. Give me 2 minutes. And actually move it out of the shot this time, Seren, for God's sake. Ta-da! But yeah, those are easy to grow ones. My Micans is doing super well as well. Like, look at all this new growth. Beep, 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 beeps. I'm actually going to chop this up soon and propagate it and see how it does. But the top is beautiful. The top's doing really well. My Peperomia Hope is also doing really well. Oh, there's just so many things up there. Crassula though, does anyone grow Crassula? Because I'm growing mine, I've had it for months now, it's done nothing. Absolutely nothing. I don't know what I'm doing wrong, but it's not growing, I can tell you that. I'm just having a ramble at this point. You let me ramble, I will ramble. So that's all I have for you right now. I feel like I've been talking for ages and ages and ages. I intend on uploading every Thursday. I want to spend as much time as I can also editing these videos so that you guys have something interesting and appealing to watch. I don't want this to be a bore for you. I want this to be as interesting for you as it is for me. I really want to put something out there that you'll enjoy watching the same way I enjoy watching other people's content. And I want to make something that I'm passionate about, and I feel like I'm going to be doing this with this YouTube channel. I hope that you come along with me and join the journey. I've got another thanks gnat flying past me screen. Go away, please. You can follow me on Instagram, it's the same username as it is on YouTube, so you'll find me at Tiny Lil Oasis. And eventually maybe I'll make a Twitch as well, because I usually do all of my plant chores the same day. So if it's something that you guys are interested in, if you want to come for a day with me and just look after my plants and we can check my propagation box, water my plants, chop any away and do some propagating, some new propagating, let me know and I'll definitely think about doing it, because I will talk for hours if you let me. Literally hours. You can expect a video next Thursday, and if you want any updates you can always find me on Instagram, because I don't stop talking on there either. Okay guys, have a good one and I will see you next time.